Hey Kai, what an awesome spot. You can see the sun behind you. What an amazing place this was up here for the night's camp. Such a good sunrise there before as well. The sun comes up so late at the moment. Sunrise isn't until, I think I woke up at about 6:15 and there's still darkness and stars. Sunrise isn't until about 6:45, 6:50. Beautiful sunrise. Sunday breakfast. Kai had avocado and baked beans on toast.
No, I didn't.
And I'm having the same thing but with eggs.
One day you're talking sweet. One day you're talking sweet. And telling me one day you're talking sweet. Telling me you'll stay, and I believe one day you're talking sweet.
What we try and do after we had all that rain yesterday, all our camp gear gets pretty wet, so we normally try and on our last morning, nice sunny morning, we dry everything all out. That way you don't have to do it all when you get home. Dry out our sand mats, and also take my mattress out of my swag and dry the underside of it, because it seems to trap moisture under there once things get wet. So I get that out, dry it out, roll it all up. That way you don't have to do as much when you get home. You can see there it's got a heap of moisture sort of on the underside through the middle.
Telling me you'll stay, and I believe.
After a beautiful morning at camp, we packed up, started making our way out of the area over towards a track known as Killingworth Loop. After we left that Catherine Hill Bay area this morning, we drove all the way through to a little town called Killingworth, and then off Killingworth is pretty well-known area and track Killingworth Loop. You got these massive power line tracks through the whole area down there. But then there's a main drive through the bush back over that way. I've never done it, but I've been told where it is. I'm going to go try and find that. It's called the Killingworth Loop. It runs through the bush. It comes off the power line track, does a big loop and back onto it. I think it's a pretty hardcore track, but you can make it easy. You can make it easier as hard as you want because there's different lines through all the areas. We're going to go try and find that now and check it out. From where we hit the track and aired down, which was not too far from the town of Killingworth, we headed along the power lines and down under the underpass, which goes back under the highway. And then on the first section of track, if you've been there before, you know that you got a heap of mud holes in a row. And given all the rain we'd had only the day before, they're up quite a bit. They can get pretty deep, but I don't really see much chance of getting stuck in them. They're all hard, rocky bottoms. You can just take your time, take it slow. After all those mud holes, you come back on the main power line track, and we started making our way towards the Killingworth Loop Track. The main reason we came to this area was to take on the Killingworth Loop Track, which none of us had ever done before. I have been to this Powerline track before, but I hadn't done the Killingworth Loop Track. The Powerline track is a pretty awesome track too, but there's a heap of different options along it. You can choose easy, medium, hard, depending on what you want to do. It's a good fun track along there. We followed that main Powerline track for a while right to the end of it, and then we turned right onto the Killingworth Loop Track, so we have found it I think. Started off with a nice good hill climb here at the start. There's a couple of different options. I sort of managed to get up that one alright, it was good fun. You just really slow crawl up those rock steps just picking that line. Dad's coming up now, I think he's going to go the other way. After Dad got through, Shad came up the same way that I'd come up. This Killingworth Loop Track gets a massive amount of use, given that it is so close to the town of Newcastle. A lot of people come out here. The biggest challenge out here seems to be finding your way. Every time you get to an obstacle there's about 7 or 8 different ways through it. You got to work out which one to do. Some are insane and some are easy. I don't know how to get across this thing. I don't know if it's soft in the middle or deep or what.
It's pretty deep there, and then you got that.
They got the rut.
Yeah, I'd probably dip out in there.
Yeah.
It's like that deep, but actually feels solid. I'm standing on hard ground here.
Yeah, this is soft over here.
That'll be your passenger side, yeah? So it's the driver's side?
Yeah, it's the driver's side. But you don't want to drop a driver's side down another 2 foot.
That's solid, yeah.
You can see there the process of finding our way through that mud hole. Shad volunteered to go for a walk through it, and from that we were able to pick a really good line through, make it easy. We didn't get stuck, we didn't do any damage to our cars. When it's just a small mud hole, you can normally check from the sides with a stick, check the wheel ruts, check it out, check how deep it is, check how soft or hard it is. But with these bigger ones, you really need to go for a walk out in them and see what's going on. Take your time, work out that right line, and what a massive difference that makes. That was an easy crawl through there. Try and get through the middle one, you're going to be bonnet deep in thick mud. That was the only mud hole on the track that he actually had to find a way through. There was heaps of other mud holes, but they all had easy tracks around them. We continued along the track. There is a few easy sections and some parts of the drive where you're just cruising along, but it's never too far away and you're on to the next challenge. It's a slow drive through here. You know, in half a day we only did a few kilometres, but keep in mind I'm filming, so it obviously does take longer. But it's a slow track, pick your lines, take your time. As you can see, most of the sections do have 2, 3, even 4 options depending on your vehicle, how much you want to challenge yourself. There's normally easier or harder lines, but even the easy lines are still quite challenging at times. If you were to come out here, you probably would want to have a little bit of forward driving experience, and you probably would struggle in a stock vehicle. Definitely have a winch or have another vehicle that is able to recover you, because there are a couple of sections that there's not really easy options and you are going to be up for a challenge. But it's also definitely not an extreme track where you need lockers, big lifts and tyres. You can make it generally easier or harder for yourself on the day depending on what lines you pick. This was one of those sections where both options were a little bit challenging. They just had holes and ruts in weird, awkward spots. It was hard to get through without those lockers to carry your wheels through once they start lifting. I tried the track to the right, couldn't get up a little bank there, so came to the left, back onto the main one, but I ended up having a bit of trouble getting through that too. But with some help from Dad and Shad picking the line and packing some rocks in the holes, we were able to guide my car through there.
Yeah, I think you'll be able to just maybe even crawl. Hold that high line around that bank there, might help you.
Yep. Right up there, yep. Put that back.
Oh yeah, the front wheel 18 inches in the air there.
I think I missed it.
Could you possibly get that?
Dad was up next and he decided to take the original track I'd tried off to the right. There was this real steep little bank you had to get up, but once again it just had holes in weird, awkward spots and made it real hard to get up. He had a couple of goes, but we decided to just quickly grab the winch out, hook him up to a tree and pull him up. It only takes 10 minutes or so to do an easy winch like that, rather than him trying again and again and going harder and possibly eventually breaking something.
Get that in your man, a bit of paper.
Shad decided to take on the main line that I'd taken on and showed us how little flex that cruiser has, but with the lockers makes it look nice and easy.
Yeah, you're all looking good. Yeah, that's it.
So much fun out here. Just ruts, rock steps, mud, you got it all. You can just sort of pick your option everywhere you want to go. This is one of those massive bits where there's just tracks everywhere. I found an easy option down, but on this one the easiest option out still looks pretty rugged. So we may, Dad and I may be winching up this one. This was definitely the most challenging section on the track that you had to do. Both the downhill and uphill options out of this little gully were still quite challenging. As I was saying before, you come out here in a standard four-wheel drive, you will be able to get through a lot of it, but then you come to a section like this, it's going to be very hard for you. I made down this first bit, now we're going to set up the winch, get it ready for getting up that second bit, because I don't think I'll be driving up. Yeah, you go put that up that tree straight ahead there. Yep. Right. And I'll get this winch ready. Yeah. I'll drive it and then we can hook it up. So I've free spooled it out half a dozen meters. Oh yeah. If you just grab it off, and I'll just manually spool another meter or two if we need it. Okay. Now I honestly didn't think I had a hope at all of getting up this bit. My plan was to get straight up those ruts as far as I could and we'd winch from there. But it was a struggle to even get started on them, so I just had a little go over to the right to see what would happen. Started going. I didn't think it'd have that right line on. You sort of mentioned that earlier, and I had looked at it and I just thought, oh no, that's too much.
Well, I'm a bit worried about this because I reckon if I come up here, I'm going to dick out straight away. I know I've got clean lockers and everything, but yeah, we'll just once the wheels are off the ground, nothing matters. But I mean, that looked good where you went. Yeah. Yeah. It didn't even look like a bad angle.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. What are you building M3 up there? Were you watching that?
Yeah, but only from here, because I was expecting what you were expecting.
Yeah.
Well,
you better have a look at your line.
You were ready to winch straight up, weren't you?
Well, I have to pack everything away again. Like, I didn't have to give it anything there at the start. It just lifted up that idling, and I gave it a bit. Because I was nearly thinking,
we're winching.
I'm dreaming here.
You give it the high rev up near the reeds
and
up
then
there.
Once I was up there, I was thinking, here we go, and I put my foot down. I can't believe I made it up there. I was so psyched. While Shad and I were down there doing that, Dad was up here building a damn wall. He's put half the rocks in Australia in a hole up here. Shad's going to come down now, and Dad's up track building on that way out, and Dad'll come down last. Yeah, that's the line, just go slow. Yeah, you're good, just go slow. Alright, that back is going to start dropping down, so go slow. Oh, it's coming down now. Yeah.
Mate?
Are you going straight up the ruts?
I was going to take your line.
Yeah.
Or you reckon I go in the rut?
Oh, it's up to you. Yeah, wait. You're just going to feel worse when you drop this rear left down. You're going to put yourself on a worse angle. I'll try idle forward. Yeah, it's coming. If I was you, I'd maybe try the ruts. Shad couldn't get the cruiser up the ruts either. He was just diffing out and getting caught on those rear leaf springs. So he had one more crack at that line over to the side. Before we decided we better just winch him up, he was starting to get that cruiser on some pretty awkward angles.
I might maybe just winch. Put that over the shackle
Right up here so it doesn't slip.
so it doesn't slide down.
Yeah, you're coming. Keep going. Yeah. Hold that lock. Left hand down. Take the tension off. Go winch out. No, don't do that. Alright, winch back in. Left hand down. Yeah. There you go, now done. This was the first time for Shad using his winch on this cruiser, and he said it was definitely one of the toughest tracks that he has done in this vehicle. So he runs a 12,000 pound winch due to the heavier weight of his vehicle, whereas Dad and I run 9,500 pound winches. Alright, we got Shad up, had to winch him up. He just kind of struggled with clearance, those rear leaf springs, just getting caught in the mud, dragging him, and just struggling to stay on that line. Winched him up, and now Dad is the last one up. See how we go. Dad tried to take on that same line that I did over to the right. He got very close, but he just couldn't seem to get his vehicle to climb up that first bit. Now Dad and I both have similar setup vehicles. We have the same size tyre, 265 by 75 on 16-inch rim, and we both run a similar lift. Mine's 30mm, Dad's 40mm. It can be hard to say why one car makes it up and the other doesn't. I think that my Navara definitely has a little bit more suspension travel than Dad. It gives me that little bit more flex to allow me to get up obstacles. And I do think that the traction control system in my car works a little bit better than the one in the MUX. We're back out on the Powerline track. Made a last little bit of drive now back onto the highway and head home. That was so much fun.
Why do they call it Powerline track? There's like no power lines.
Oh no, there's no power lines at all.
Yeah, I wonder why they called it that. That's so weird.
So that section that we did of the Killingworth or Killy Loop, that section we did, here's the highway, here's the underpass, your main Powerline track. So we drove the Powerline track. We drove the Powerline track up to kind of the southern end of it, and then we followed this one all the way down to the corner. Back up, back up, back up, and then out here. Fun day, Kai?
Nope.
We'll just finish this bit of drive, we're up and head home.
One day you're talking sweet. One day you're talking sweet. Telling me one day you're talking sweet.